Hello, 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 and welcome back. This is Telltale Signs that you know your worth. Okay, this is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, I am Jamie Drew with the girlfriendexperience.org. So make sure you check out the girlfriendexperience.org in the meantime, and share the video, share the love. I know you're going to gain something from this. I know you're going to get some knowledge from this. So you might as well, sharing is caring, right? So share the love, get on in here, come in the room, talk to me. We're going to be talking about telltale signs. Let me get my hair right. Telltale signs that you know your worth, okay? We're going to be talking about that. I don't know. I may be stepping on some toes tonight. I might. Maybe not. But if you don't know your worth, this is going to be the way that you know that you have some work to do. Okay? So let's get right into it. Telltale signs that you finally know your worth, know your value. Okay? Number 1, you set boundaries. Yes. That is so important. That is really a telltale sign that you know your worth, that you know how much you mean not only to other people, but that you know how much you mean to yourself. Can you set those boundaries? Can you, tell people no? A lot of us get caught up in people pleasing. And when we don't know our value, when we don't know our worth, then we get caught up in doing things for other people and people pleasing because we think that that is how we place value on ourselves. And that's not really it. That's not really the way to go, okay? Because that is a way that you're sure to get taken advantage of. Always thinking, always connecting yourself with, what it is that you do for other people. Now, it's a great thing to be able to bring value to other people, It's a great thing to be able to share love and share knowledge and to give back, okay? That's awesome, okay? But you need to know when it's okay to say no. For instance, if you're having some me time, okay, and thank y'all for sharing. I see y'all sharing. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. If you're having some me time, okay, and you've decided, this weekend, this is my weekend. I've been working hard, all week. I'm going to do me this weekend. Or say you pick a particular day. You say Saturday is my day. I'm not letting anybody in. I'm not letting anybody over. I'm not talking to anybody on the phone. Okay? This is one way that you can set a boundary, put a bubble around yourself for some self-care time. Everybody needs to rejuvenate, especially you people that have a lot of children or that just have children, period, or have jobs where you're constantly giving to somebody else, okay? You need to set a bubble, set a limit around yourself and say, no, this time is for me, okay? You start to know that you don't let people treat you a certain way, okay? You start to say no to things that you may have said. Check yourself and see if you're saying yes out of obligation or if you're saying yes because you really want to, okay? I used to have a thing where I would say, well, I don't like telling people no. I would say, I will only tell you no if I can't do something. I had to grow out of that, okay? Because sometimes I'm physically able to do something, but guess what? I'm not gonna do it, okay? Because this is my boundary that I have set for myself. So no, I'm not gonna come over your house. No, I'm not going to answer the phone when you call. No, I can't do you any favors this weekend. No. The answer is no. Okay? When you begin to know your value and know that those things, see, a lot of times we think, if I don't do this, this person is going to stop coming around. This person is going to stop loving me. This thing is not going to be here anymore. And that's even the situation with jobs. You even have to set boundaries with your jobs, not just other people, not just people that you're dating or your significant others. You have to set boundaries with everybody, your children, your loved ones, your job, your significant other, everybody you have got to set boundaries with, because the most important person in your life is you. Okay? Now, I know that's contrary to popular belief. Okay? Because a lot of people like to put their children first. Okay? They like to put their husband or wife first. Okay? But you have to remember that nobody comes first before you. Because if you're not intact, you know this. You can't help anybody else. Y'all have heard this before. I'm not telling you anything new. I'm not telling you anything new under the sun. Okay? You already know that you are the most important thing. Not your husband, not your wife, not your kids. You are the most important thing. Okay? Tell me, have you ever rode on a plane? Comment, have you ever rode on a plane before? Okay? Give me a thumbs up. Have you ever ridden on a plane? Okay? If you've ever ridden on a plane, then you know those instructions that they give you in the beginning. Okay? Now, some of y'all not listening, like me, if you've flown a million times and you're like, oh, I already know what they're going to say. I already know what's up. But you need to pay attention anyway, because they're giving you they're actually dropping some jewels on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what my dad calls it. When you give somebody good life information, he calls it dropping jewels. So I like that. The airport, the stewardess, the online flight people, whoever, whatever you want to call them, are actually dropping some jewels on you. They tell you, if we lose pressure in the cabin, your oxygen mask may come down, right? And what do they tell you to do? Do they say, make sure you affix it to your children's face first? Make sure you help your husband out first. Make sure you help your wife out. Make sure you help your boo out first. No, that's not what they tell you. They tell you to put your oxygen mask on first. Yours. Now, why do they tell you that? Okay? Because if you get in a situation, you're feeling around, you're all nervous. Oh my gosh, the plane lost pressure and everything. And oh my goodness, we're about to crash. What we gonna do? And you trying to fix your baby's mask, and then something goes wrong, the pressure, and then you pass out. And you gone, and your baby still don't have the mask on because you didn't get a chance to put it on right. Where if you would have listened to directions and put your mask on first, you would have been able to maintain that oxygen level, okay, to be able to then help somebody else. So let that sink in, because I'm thirsty. Oh, I hope y'all staying hydrated. Go get some water if you don't have any. This is the most important life-giving thing you can ingest, okay? Had to learn that too. So back to what I was saying. When you know your worth, you set boundaries, okay? You stop feeling like, if I don't do this thing, if I don't give to these other people, then they're going to go away. They're not going to like me anymore. They're not going to love me anymore. I'm going to get fired, okay? You have to get that out of your head, and you have to know and love and accept yourself and know your value and your worth. And when you do, you'll begin to know how to set boundaries. So if you know how to set boundaries and you do that actively in your life, then pat yourself on the back, because you know your worth, boo. Okay? Let's move on to the next thing. Another telltale sign that you know your worth is you stop arguing. You stop arguing, because it doesn't mean the same thing that it used to. I mean, because why argue? Why not see different points of view in a conversation? Why not respect the other person more? A lot of times when we argue or fight tooth and nail, and y'all hear my happy birds chirping in the background, okay? If y'all hear that, that's my boo, Nugget and Jelly Bean. That's my baby's names, okay? I might show y'all them in another video, but that's them chirping, loving life. So when you know your worth, you stop arguing as much because the argument doesn't mean as much to you as it used to. Because it's not always about being right or being the loudest or, making sure that the other person knows that you're serious. Okay? When you know your worth, you begin to argue a whole lot less, because when you value yourself, you begin to value other people more. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that loving yourself more will allow you to love other people more and to understand other people more and to know where they're coming from? Because it's really not about being right. It's really not about arguing your point. Okay? It's about getting on the same page. Okay? It's about understanding one another. It's about proper communication with one another. So when you know your worth, you're not feeling that your value is based on what you have to say and how fervently you're proving your point. Okay? And so all of us have had to work on this. But if you're still having arguments with people and you're constantly going back and forth with people, whether it's your coworkers, your family members, your significant other, your kids, whoever it is, if you still find yourself arguing regularly with people, then you have some work to do, right? All right. Along with that, another telltale sign that you know your worth is that you listen more. Now, this goes hand in hand with stopping arguing, okay? Because everybody wants to be heard. And so when you begin to know that you are worth that respect for a person not to interrupt what you are saying, you will begin to see the value in giving that respect to somebody else. And actually staying quiet more, listening more to what the person has to say, and valuing what they have to say and the time that they are giving and the effort and energy that they're putting forth to be able to express themselves to you. And then come back and formulate something without arguing, because you know your value and you know you don't have to. So when you listen more, you're talking less, and you're not attaching your value to your words and getting your point across to this other person, because guess what? You may run into a situation where the person never gets you, never understands you. Okay, you may not ever get on the same page with this person. But when you know your value, you are able to give that person that respect, and you are able to listen and let the conversation stop where it needs to stop, instead of constantly honing in and driving your point home. Because you will begin to realize a whole lot faster, okay, when it's time to stop talking and when it's not worth it any longer. Okay, so that's another telltale sign that you know your worth, is that you listen a whole lot more. Okay? Number 4. You're okay with being wrong. This was a hard one for me. And it still is, okay? We all have different levels of things that we're working on. Sometimes you can attach whether you're right or wrong to your value. But when you know your value already, and you know your worth, and that it's not attached to that particular thing, then you're okay with being wrong. You're okay with sitting back and saying, you know what? I gave that some thought, and you're right. I was wrong about that. I shouldn't have said that thing. I shouldn't have talked to you that way. I shouldn't have handled that situation that way. Well, you know what? I was wrong about that. I gained some knowledge. You know what? You helped me out. I gained some knowledge. When you know your value and you do not attach your value to those things, then you don't care about being right. Being wrong is an opportunity for growth. Being wrong is an opportunity to learn something new. And that, learning something new, is growth in and of itself, because you have to realize you can't possibly know everything. There's too many things to know. There's something new that you can learn every single day. And y'all know, we're learning so much new stuff now. History and everything. Our world is changing and our mindsets are changing, and the way we behave and the way we structure our lives changes based on information coming in, information that we are receiving. Okay, so think of yourself as a person constantly growing and learning and being shaped. Okay, and you have value as soon as you come out of the womb. As soon as you come out of the womb, okay, do you know just how many sperm shoot out, okay, to be able to fight their way into making that egg, to fertilize that egg when you are conceived, okay? So when you're born a winner. Stop saying we born sinners. We born winners, okay? But as soon as you come out of the womb, baby, you have value, okay? So stop attaching your value to different things, okay? Set boundaries, stop arguing, listen more, and be okay with being wrong, because every time you're wrong, you're learning something new and you're growing even more and your value is increasing. Okay? That's actually something right there, because it sounds counterintuitive to be happy about being wrong, because every time you're wrong, it's an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to actually increase your value. So you want to be happy about your failures. You want to be happy that you lived to learn that. Do you know how many times I have fallen down and failed? Oh my goodness, I can tell y'all some stories, okay? But now I am able to come back to you because of what I learned going through these things. So value your wrongness. Be happy with your wrongness, because it gave you an opportunity to grow just that much more. Let that sink in, because I'm thirsty again. All right, let's talk about another sign. Y'all know I got my handy dandy notebook. We've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4. We've gone through 4 telltale signs that you know your worth. You know your value. All right, number 5, you trust your own judgment. This is a big deal one also. We always look to other people for their opinions and, well, should I do this and should I do that, when we need to be listening to our gut. Do a little bit of research on your gut brain. You got a brain up here and you have a brain down there too in your gut. There's so many nerves going on in that area. You'd be so surprised. So when you get those little nervous feelings, when you get those little feelings in your gut, it's something. That's your other brain giving you a feeling. Begin to trust your intuition. Begin to know that because you have value, because you were wrong, because you've learned lessons, that you're right. That you can make your own decisions, that you can be independent, that you can trust your own judgment. And if it turns out wrong, then you learned a lesson, okay? Learn to release that fear, okay? Trusting your own judgment, you will gain more confidence when you see that thing turned out right. And when it turned out wrong, remember I talked about accepting responsibility for yourself and your life? If that thing turns out wrong, you can't blame anybody, because you were the one who made the decision, okay? And so you are the one who can live and learn and grow the most from that decision. So start listening to yourself. Start trusting your own judgment. Start trusting your own wisdom to know that it's going to get you by. okay? And that no harm is gonna come to you from those lessons that you have to learn. Take your lesson and think of it as a blessing, okay? Your lesson is a blessing. Let's move on to the next one. Another telltale sign, baby. Your circle got smaller. That's right. You have less friends than you used to have, and less boyfriends than you used to have, less girlfriends. Because you care about quality over quantity. That's right. Because you value yourself, you know your worth, you know who you are, and you know who to keep in your circle and who needs to go out of your circle. So when your circle gets a whole lot smaller than it used to be, and you don't need the peanut gallery around you or the yes men around you, telling you, oh yeah, you're right, do this, do that, or, taking you into bad decisions, sit back and look at your life objectively. Step outside of it. Look from the outside in. Okay? Are all the people that are there needing to be there? You might have to tighten your circle up. Okay? In another video, I talked about the best of the bums. Okay? Y'all remember that video? If you don't, check out my video on the best of the bums. Okay? The best of the bums is somebody who thinks they're doing great, who thinks they're awesome, because everybody that they hang around ain't nothing but a bunch of bums. So they think they're all the way up here when really they're just skating by, but all their bum friends are around doing worse than them, so they're okay. Okay? Let's just say that there's 10 levels in life. I'm just putting a number out there. And let's just say all your friends are on a level 2. Well, you're going to think level 3 is damn good. If you're at level 5, you're going to think that's damn good because you're like, all my friends are at a level 2. I'm at a level 5. I'm doing it, baby. Meanwhile, you're just the best of the bums. Okay? Because the bums are at 2. And you at 5, you just the best of the bums. Meanwhile, you need to be at a 7 somewhere, hanging out with the 7s and 8s. Okay? But you just sitting around with these 2s, thinking that just because you're a 5, you're doing well. No, honey, you're the best of the bums. You need to elevate. I'd rather be the bum of the best than the best of the bums. Okay? I'd rather be the most terrible house on the block than the most fabulous house on the block, and everybody else is looking shabby. You get what I'm saying? Increase your circle to the better people, which may mean and very well should mean that your circle gets smaller. So that is another telltale sign that you know your worth. You understand your value because you're not just letting any old body in, right? Oh, you know what? I never swiped over to see my comments. Let me see what y'all been talking about. Self-care. Okay. I like that. Drop those jewels. Take care of yourself first. Okay. I'm sorry. I forgot to swipe over, you guys. Like, y'all got to tell me this. I guess you couldn't tell me because I couldn't see your comments. I'm like, why is nobody commenting? I see people here. They don't love me today. No, they do. Jamie Drew just needs to swipe over. But I knew y'all was with me anyway, and I knew if y'all weren't watching me live that y'all were going to be watching that replay. So, like I was saying, your circle gets smaller as your value increases. So know that if you've got a small circle right now, then you've probably done the work, okay? Things are getting better for you because you know your value. You understand your value. You know who you are, and you don't care about quantity. You care about quality, okay? Okay, I got three more. I heard about the storm here, so I'm going to be wrapping things up. Okay, another telltale sign that you know your value is that you do not attach your value to the things you buy. Telltale sign that you know your worth, you spend less money. What? How can I know my worth by spending less? yes, because when I spend more, that costs more and money equals value, right? No, it doesn't. When you start spending less, then you know you have come a long way, because you don't need those things. Now, everybody likes comforts. I'm not saying don't be comfortable. I'm not saying, don't have things that are beautiful, things that you like. But when you have things in excess, it's a problem. If you have a whole bunch of clothes and shoes in your closet with tags on them, you have to sit back and ask yourself, why? Why do I have all of these things? What type of value am I attaching by having these things that I don't even use? That's a waste of money. That you don't know your worth if you out there wasting money. Go on and invest somewhere. Go on and invest in your children or something like that. You can't be out here buying things and keeping the tags on them. What kind of stuff is that? You think you're cute? Oh, I got shoes in my closet that I ain't even never worn. I never even wore these shoes. Then why do you have them? Doesn't that sound silly? That is just silly. Okay, I'm not saying don't have a special occasion outfit or special occasion shoes that you wear rarely or, to certain events or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those of you who are out there who have loads and loads of stuff in your closet, okay, that you cannot use. Why? I don't know why. You tell me why. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to step on your toes right now. You don't value yourself. You don't. You can't. It's impossible that you value yourself to the level that you need to be valuing yourself if you are going out racking up on stuff that you don't use. It doesn't make sense. So pat yourself on the back. Congratulations if you know how to purge, okay? And give away some stuff and only buy the things that you're truly going to wear and truly going to use, because that's when you know your value, okay? Let's move along. Ooh, this is a good one. I keep saying that, don't that? Calandra, you say you totally agree. Thank you. You with me, okay? I agree too. All right. This is a good one. This next one I'm going to say is a really good one, okay? Especially for us ladies out there. I'm talking to my women. Where y'all at, okay? And I know I say all of them are good. I think all of them are good. But this one is especially good. If you take breaks between partners, relationship partners, sex partners, okay? That's when you really know that you know your value, okay? Some of you, and this is women and men, but I'm especially talking to my sisters, okay? My ladies. We have a bad habit of attaching our value to what men think of us or what our partner thinks of us and how soon we can get one after a breakup. Because, well, why are you single? Well, something must be wrong with you. No, I'm here to tell you that if you're single and you've been single for a while or you've had a significant gap in between a relationship, that's okay. You're doing it because you know your worth. You know your value. You know that you're just not going to take anybody. Calandra said, oh, you came through with the word tonight. Thank you, Calandra Boo. Thank you. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, pat yourselves on the back. Give me a like, okay? If you've been single for a year. If you've been single for a year, congratulations. Now, I'm not talking about y'all people in couples because I don't want to knock couples. I value couples. But what I'm saying is, if you have been single and you understand that you need a gap, okay, I'm getting some likes, some hearts. Some of y'all must be single right now. It's okay. I said in another video that I watched this very wise woman say, oh, what a great thing to be single because you get to meet you. Oh, I get to meet me. Yes, you get to figure out what you like, what you want to do, and what you won't go back to, because you're out of that relationship for a reason. Take the time. Sit back. Think about what those reasons are that you are single. Think about those changes that you want to see in your future relationship, because it's coming. It's coming. I always tell people, if you have to be single for 1 year, 2 years, okay, whatever the case is, and then you find an awesome mate, I mean super mate, and y'all are married for 50 years after that, do you think those 2 years are gonna matter? You're not even gonna remember that 2-year gap, okay? It's gonna be a blip in time. 2 years compared to 50 years is a blip in time. So take that time to be single, to understand yourself better, to know yourself better, and to gain wisdom and insight into what you've been through before and why you've been through it and what lessons you needed to learn from it, so that you can be better off in the next one, boo. Okay? So if you know your value, then you might just be single for a while. You might, if you know you're awesome. And nowadays, awesomeness is rare. Remember, I was just talking about the best of the bums. So if you know you're a 9, and it's a whole bunch of 2s out there, you gotta find another 9. Where's another 9? 8s, 9s, and 10s. I'll take 8s, 9s, and 10s. 8, 9, and 10s? 9? No, you a 6. No, you a 4. 9? Okay. You know what I'm saying? It might take you a minute to find that match. But in that meantime, in between time, be working on you. It's so valuable and it feels so good. Kalendra says, sometimes it wasn't the other person that was the problem. It was me. Kalendra, that's when you really know your value. When you're able to be honest with yourself, sit back and learn those lessons from the past and say, you know what? This is the way I contributed to that. That person did me wrong, but this is how I allowed it. Or this is how I treated that person that caused them to treat me back this certain way. Because everything is a boomerang. You reap what you sow. The energy that you put out is the energy that you get back, right? So what did I do? What did I put out? What boomerang did I send out that came back and boom, bam, hit me back in the face? We got to think about that. And every time you're honest with yourself and you take that time, you increase your value just that much more. So that's another telltale sign, okay? That you take breaks in between partners. That you know you're worth more than just any old body, any old bum off the street, okay? Calandra said, or why do I keep choosing these type of men? Girl. That is a whole nother video, okay? Listen. Been there, done that, and had to realize, hold on, I was allowing this stuff. Or you know what? I was choosing those men because I had low self-esteem. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my value. So I allowed these people to come into my circle that shouldn't have been in my circle, that now that I know my value, I would never let them in my circle. So when you sit back and figure out you, because you're the only one that's in charge of your life. You're the only one that can make changes in your life. So you have to figure out what it was about you. Okay? Girl. Okay. Look, this is the last one. I love y'all. Y'all been rocking with me. You say no without explanation. That's a really hard thing to do. That's a really hard thing to do, is to say no without explanation. You are grown. Everybody up in this room is grown. I don't have a message for kids. This conversation is for the grown folks, okay? So when you're an adult, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. You can say no without a particular explanation or a million reasons why. No, I'm not going to be able to do that, and I'm sorry. I'm not telling y'all to be nasty to people, be mean to people, or just go around saying no just because you can, or never help anybody out. But what I'm saying is, when you know you, and you love you, and you value yourself, you can be okay with just telling people no. And it's okay. No, I can't do it. No, I can't give you that loan. But I can help you to get your own money. I can help you call this particular resource. But no, I'm not loaning you my rent money. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Learn how. This is one, I'm telling you, all of these videos that I have, I always talk about my parents. So Calandra said it's so healthy. Yes, it is, Calandra. Very healthy. I always talk about my parents in these videos, so you see how much of an influence they've had on me. But my mother always taught me to consider how a thing is going to affect me. She said, don't think about what it's going to mean or how it's going to affect the other person. Think about how this is going to affect you. And let that guide you in your decision making. And you know, when I was younger growing up, I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom, she always has stuff to say. She's always hating. Yeah, well, guess what? Mom was right. Okay? She was right. And it really helped me to grow over the years, to get my confidence to where it is now, to know my worth, to know what I'm okay with, to know what I'm not okay with. Okay? I had a guy ask me just the other day to send him, I'm online dating, y'all, okay? While we talking about being single, I'm online dating, okay? And there's a lot of twos on there. Remember, I was talking about twos. So I saw an attractive guy, okay? We start conversing, and he asked me for a full body picture, which I am totally okay with. You know, in the online world, when you take a lot of selfies and everything, you can only see the person, you know, from the chest up and everything. You can't see the whole body. So I'm pretty sure he wanted to know what my body looked like. You know, just like I want to know. I want to see a full body picture of him too. I asked him for the same. Let me see your physique. Let me make sure that I'm attracted to you on this level. I think that's typical when you're online dating. So we exchange those pictures. Okay, everything is fine. We continue to communicate. Then he tells me that he likes girls with big booties, or women with big booties. Okay. So that was a little forward, but I'm like, well, I'm not a prude. Maybe he was joking. Let me cut the man some slack. Maybe it was an icebreaker. Okay. So, but I had to do a little jab myself and let him know, because see, this is, you know, strike two almost, because the first one asked me for a picture, you know, then, oh, I forgot this part. He said, scoot over, I'm coming to lay next to you. So I'm like, okay, little jokey joke, ha ha ha, okay, cute. That's what I said back, cute. So now he asked me for the full body picture. I obliged, no problem. Let's see what each other looks like. Let's make sure that the attraction is there. Okay, he said, let me come lay next to you. Borderline, but I said, okay, joke, ha ha ha, cute. Okay, let's keep it moving. Then he had the nerve to ask me, oh, let me get a profile picture, because I like women with big butts. I said, well, I like guys with fat wallets. I just had to throw it back at him. You know what I mean? Because send me a picture of your wallet. You that we women feel about our bodies and our sexuality being exploited is the same way that you men feel about your pockets and your finances, your money being exploited, okay? We have those same sensitivities there. So when homeboy asked me for a profile, and you know he wasn't talking about, the side of my face profile, he wanted to see how far my butt was sticking out. I said, you know what? You and I are not compatible. We're not. So goodbye, block. He was done. You know why? Because I know my value. And guess what else? This is another lesson. When you know your value, when you know your worth, you also understand other people's value and worth. That did not deter me from all men out there, because I understand that just like I have value and he was a 2 and I'm a 9, maybe an 11, okay? That there's other men of a higher caliber that have more respect out there, okay? And I'm not ashamed of my body or anything like that, but there's a certain way that if you want to approach me, if you want a woman of value of this caliber, there's a certain way that you have to come at me, because I know my worth. He obviously didn't know his worth, or he would have known that you get more flies with honey, but he was serving up some vinegar and I didn't like it. Okay, so he is blocked and I have moved along from that. But I wanted to give you that little inkling just to tell you not to be discouraged when people test your worth, when people test your value, because there's people out there, okay? Like I said, there's a bunch of 2s out there. There's a bunch of bums out there, and we're not rocking with them, okay? So just know that they're gonna come at you, okay? Because when you're awesome, when you're amazing, when you know who you are and you know what you're worth, everybody else sees it too. And that includes the bums. Everybody notices how awesome you are, okay? So don't forget that, and don't be discouraged when you run into those same people from your past, or those same number 2s, those same bums out there that want to challenge you. Just remember your value. Just remember what you are worth, and that you don't have to deal with those low lives, okay? So let's go back over it, girlfriends and guy friends. Let's go back over it, because I want to make sure y'all get this. I want to make sure y'all feeling the vibe, okay? I see a lot of likes coming through, so I know y'all feeling me, and I appreciate it. Don't go nowhere. Set boundaries. You got that? Stop arguing. Listen more. I'm sweating, y'all. Y'all know how I do, like Whitney Houston up in here. I've been sweating. These lights. Set boundaries. Stop arguing. Listen more. Be okay with being wrong. Trust your own judgment. Make your circle smaller. Spend less money. Take breaks between partners. And say no without explanation. If you have enjoyed this video, please like this video and send it out into the world to support me, okay? Support me on my journey of giving you the best of me. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, okay? I'm on YouTube at The Girlfriend Experience LLC. I'm on Facebook. You can find me at Jamie Drew. You can find me at The Girlfriend Experience LLC. You can find me on the World Wide Web at thegirlfriendexperience.org. You can email me at info@thegirlfriendexperience.org. You can find me on OnlyFans. I have an OnlyFans page where I give you the inside scoop. Okay, OnlyFans at your girl Jamie Drew. Okay, you can find me on Instagram at The Girlfriend Experience LLC. And I've even made a couple of TikToks at your girl Jamie Drew. So I'm doing it all, okay? Make sure y'all support me. Show your girl some love. Calandra, thank you so much. I see your comment, girl. I did drop some gems. I dropped some jewels on them, baby. Okay? So I hope y'all enjoyed this. And until next time, peace and blessings. Love y'all.